the podium in that situation because race was quite okay over the beginning when I saw Nakagami coming quite fast in the break and then did a big crash. I could get a few positions, immediately also overtake Paul Espargaro that was in front of me. And then this group of Fabio, Aleix and Martin. Martin was quite strong and I really tried to handle my rear tire. But even tried to handle it at the maximum as possible to get an advantage at the end. I didn't get the advantage and even worse at the end. So it was pretty frustrating to miss this speed at the end because I was the only one with the hard rear and he should get an advantage and I didn't get it. But then it was good to keep pushing because when Aleix did this mistake of the last lap, I first thought it's a mechanic problem and then I understood that he was celebrating. So I say, finish your lap and catch your podium.
Lovely to see you back up here on the podium in Barcelona. Well done.
Merci.
Yeah, well done, John Zarco. That's back-to-back podiums here in Barcelona for him. I'm indebted to one of our viewers, Mick Stevenson, who's contacted us saying, of course, I've forgotten this one. Thanks for jogging my memory. Kenny Roberts Jr. did the same, celebrating early in Estoril in 2006, a race which, of course, was won by Tony Elias. Valentino Rossi taking second place. A great job by this man then. Just a second podium finish of what's been a pretty troublesome 2022 for Jorge Martin. He's in Parc Fermé with Amy.
Jorge. Yeah, Jorge, it's been tough times of recent. You're going under the surgeon's knife tomorrow, I believe. Yeah. How does it feel to be back here on the podium? Obviously, a real sign of optimism of what's to come.
Yeah, well, it's been a long season. Was difficult anyway. Second position today. I struggled during the last races, but I knew I was there. I was still the same Martinator, and yeah, this weekend was almost perfect. The pace was there. I was struggling being behind the race, so I was trying to be in front. But yeah, finally, thanks to the crowd, to my fans, they are here pushing a lot. Gracias a todos y la próxima más. Gas.
Great to see you back.
Yeah, great to see Jorge Martin back on the podium. That was a top ride by him. He really was working hard in an intense battle with Aleix Espargaro, and it got the ultimate reward, second place. He had nothing for Fabio Quartararo, nobody did here in Barcelona today, but Jorge Martin celebrates second place, back on the podium for the first time since Argentina. But one man was utterly brilliant here today in Barcelona, your reigning world champion and race winner Fabio Quartararo with Amy.
Fabio, congratulations. You had so much margin, but you made it look completely effortless. Just keep that hammer down.
Exactly. I felt good from the beginning. I knew I wanted to be first in the first corner, and finally I managed to get something crazy. So yeah, I'm so happy. Great to see all the fans here. I want to thank them all to come here, and yeah, amazing race. I felt great. I was not controlling all the race, but pushing from the beginning, and then see how was my rear tire going. Was really good, and I had some margin and always increasing my lead. So happy, and Mugello one here was meant to be difficult, but 2-1-1 is a really great result.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that's a good point made by Fabio Quartararo, isn't it? The long straights of Mugello and Barcelona were supposed to really hurt the Yamaha man, and he walks away with 45 points from 50 in the space of a week, and he won't be bothered by the howl that dropped by Aleix Espargaro because it means he goes to the Saxon Ring in a couple of weeks' time. What is it, 22 points clear in the championship battle? That's a big buffer. He'll be looking to extend that and going into the summer break as well.
And of course, what's happened elsewhere in that Grand Prix, and Bastianini, who crashed out of the race earlier on, he's 53 behind now, and Pecco Bagnaia continues the incredible run in 2022. No race winner in 2022 in MotoGP has finished in the top 10 at the following Grand Prix. Incredible run of results this season. Quite extraordinary the way it's gone. Fabio Quartararo won't care about that, with a 66-point lead now over the rider who many expect to be a long-term championship contender. Pecco Bagnaia stuck on 81 points. Of course, no fault of his own, but Bagnaia, a disastrous day for Ducati as a whole, and a day that couldn't have gone much better when Fabio Quartararo woke up this morning from his point of view.
I'm loving that circuit designed podium here in Barcelona. I'm sure that's going to be replicated by a few tracks around the world. So the fans here in Barcelona, some of them are going home pretty dejected tonight, having seen the home crowd hero throw away 20 precious World Championship points. Apparently Salva Franco, who's a mechanic currently in Aprilia for Aleix Espargaro, was also a mechanic right here back in 2009 when Julian Simon made the same error back in the 125cc battle. We're just going to stay quiet now as we try and listen into the post-race thoughts of our top 3 men here in Barcelona.
First laps you were making 40 low, no? 42 over 3. 40.1. But the grip I expect much worse now. So the last 5 laps. But I was with Aleix battling on the race. But Aleix got before the finish line. Last lap I thought he broke.
Yeah, me too.
Starting the last lap I was catching back.
And then
I was
he
like,
did
oh, coming.
all the brake pump celebrating. Mir, I passed him in first corner and then I said, wow.
And then he started pushing again.
Yeah, but I think Mir passed him.
No, he went. I finished 5th, I think. Yeah, me is 4th, no? Wow. This is the start also you didn't see it.
Ah, see. Nakagami.
Nakagami, 3 or 4. Yeah. We spoke in the.
I think he crashed. He touched Banaya and he took away.
Prince is.
Yes, Prince. Yes.
Because in the first lap, in the braking, I was like, oh, that was hot. No? I was overtaking you, then someone, I don't know, I think was Paul or Nakagami overtook me, and I was close to you, and then boom, boom, boom.
I think has been Nakagami because Paul overtook, but I think was not in front of you.
Yeah, but I think you, first corner. But you, the first lap had already 1 second.
No, I had 3 tenths.
No.
So my team was like...
Yeah, maybe in that sector, but Aleix was very...
I mean, my best lap was 40.
Managing a lot, Aleix. And I was really like trying to...
At the end, I had a little
bit more.
Because I pushed so much. But in even last laps, I was doing 41.6 and...
Yeah, I was with Aleix alone, and then he was coming with the hard. I knew about the hard, and I was no...
Yeah, but the hard
you think was good idea, the hard?
But at the end, he did not help me.
But last year...
Yes, spin.
Last year I did the same, and I expect much better
At the end.
But last year you used medium, right? Last year.
Second.
Yeah, but you use medium rear, no?
No, hard.
Yes.
I remember.
Wow.
But I got much more job than last year.
Mañana me opero, tío. De un nervio, no te lo diría. Las últimas vueltas, la última giro estaba senza forza, onestamente. Wow. Peccato che non rimango oggi, sai?
¿Pero dónde vas ahora?
No, me tengo que ir a Italia, tío. Si no, hoy le hago una que
So the podium celebration is about to start here in Barcelona. There's a very good reason why myself and Lewis stay quiet for that little post-race conversation now, because we just heard some unique, fascinating insight from the top 3 men, fresh from Parc Ferme before they get on the podium. They were well, Joan Zarco and Jorge Martin both saying what we suspected. They thought Aleix Espargaro had got a mechanical problem late on. Unbelievable late drama here then in Barcelona as Fabio Quartararo's crew chief Diego Ghibolini comes to the podium. What a day of race action here in MotoGP in Barcelona, and your podium celebrations underway.
And what a weekend for Yamaha. Of course, they've confirmed Fabio Quartararo for the next 2 seasons. They've confirmed their title sponsorship is extended as well for the coming years, and they've taken what could end up, still a long way to go in this 2022 season, could end up being a decisive and defining victory. Just how crucial will this Sunday afternoon be in the final reckoning in Valencia in November? What a day for Pramac Ducati with a brand new title sponsor. Both riders on the podium, Joan Zarco in 3rd position, and Jorge Martin will go into that surgery tomorrow on his hand in high spirits, equaling his best results of the season. Back on the podium for the 2nd time this year and the 1st since Argentina, but demonstrating exactly why he is the reigning world champion. Your race winner, Fabio Quartararo. Christmas has come early in Catalunya for Fabio Quartararo. Race victory. 2 of his 3 closest championship contenders out of the Grand Prix for various reasons. Bastianini, his own accident. Bagnaia, unfortunately, the victim of a collision from behind, taken out by Takaki Nakagami. And Aleix Espargaro, of course, with that mistake on the final lap, sitting up, thinking that the race had finished and losing 9 World Championship points and 3 positions. Mitch Covington, the SVP of Sports Marketing for Monster Energy, the sponsors of this Grand Prix, gives Diego Gabellini the winning trophy for the constructors. Yamaha's 2nd victory of the season. Fabio Quartararo really doing the Lord's work for Yamaha, isn't he? The next Yamaha in the end across the line was Darren Binder, who finished in 12th position. Some good points for Darren Binder this afternoon. Johan Zarco in 3rd position. In the end, the grateful benefactor of what happened to Aleix Espargaro on that last lap. Back-to-back podiums in Barcelona for Zarco, the 2nd consecutive year he stood up there. Pere Rodriguez, the mayor of Montmeló, and a very happy Jorge Martin. What relief it must be for him. Changed back to a more familiar setting on the front forks of his Ducati, and it brought that old feeling back. And Jorge Martin certainly back in business, and he will hope back to full fitness next time around at the Sachsenring as he goes in for surgery tomorrow. Roger Toron, the Minister for Business and Labour and the President of the circuit, gives Fabio Quartararo a 2nd winner's trophy here in Barcelona, the 2nd time in 3 years. How rarely have we seen him that animated when he's taken a Grand Prix victory. Potentially a crucial day in the World Championship as Quartararo demolishes the field in Barcelona.
Soak that up, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to the roar of an appreciative crowd. Are we in Le Mans or are we in Barcelona? Incredible reception for the 2 Frenchmen on the podium. I just briefly stepped out of our commentary box position here. The roar when Fabio Quartararo climbed onto the top step of the podium, it was like Barcelona had scored a last-minute winning goal in the Champions League final. It was incredible. What an atmosphere. What a spectacle the MotoGP World Championship is this year. It's been a thoroughly enjoyable and dramatic race day across all 3 classes, and it finishes in the most dramatic fashion. What a first and last lap in that Barcelona battle, with Taka Nakagami taking out Pecco Bagnaia and Alex Rins at the first corner, and then Aleix Espargaro thinking he'd taken 2nd place behind this man, Fabio Quartararo, miscounting the laps, celebrating too early, and it all plays into the hands of this man. He's going to enjoy that post-race Prosecco because he certainly earned it, he certainly deserved it. Another fabulous performance by Fabio Quartararo, the 23-year-old from Nice. The French fans down there on the grid, they are loving this. Johan Zarco, he's celebrating like he's taken a first victory here in the Premier Class. Absolutely incredible scene. Just the 3rd time in Premier Class history that 2 French riders have stood alongside each other on the podium. Memorable scenes here in Barcelona. Great to see the fans who poured out onto the grid. They've enjoyed their day out in the sunshine. I'm sure they've enjoyed their day out watching Moto3, Moto2 and MotoGP action here, because it's been a brilliant day in Barcelona. Brilliant day if you're French as well. Next up. Yeah, coming up next then, we move to the halfway point of the World Championship. The Liqui Moly Grand Prix of Germany at the tight and twisty Sachsenring. And of course, there'll be a new winner in MotoGP there, with Marc Marquez sadly sidelined through injury. We're looking forward to going to Chemnitz and experiencing the passion of the German fans. That's up next as we try and process what's just happened here over those 24 laps in MotoGP, particularly 5 seconds after the start went off, and then the last 20 minutes or so were just incredible.
High drama in Barcelona as Fabio Quartararo takes his second win of the year ahead of Jorge Martin and Johan Zarco. A 2-3 for Pramac Ducati on a day where their factory riders had a nightmare. Joan Mir looking into fourth position, but a brilliant ride for him ahead of Aleix Espargaro. Inconsolable after that last lap mishap. Marini fifth, in sixth, should I say, ahead of Maverick Vinales. That soft tyre gamble didn't quite pay off for him. Brad Binder and Miguel Oliveira 8th and 9th for KTM, and Alex Marquez a fine 10th from the back of the grid. Remy Gardner, Darren Binder scoring points on their first MotoGP visit to Barcelona. Franco Morbidelli 33 seconds behind his race-winning teammate in 13th. Jack Miller in 14th, and Raul Fernandez takes his first MotoGP World Championship point. Fabio Quartararo has 147 of them, and he leads the championship now by 22 from Aleix Espargaro, who would have been 13 behind had he taken the checkered flag in second. Bastianini failing to score. He is still in third. Zarco leapfrogs Bagnaia now into fourth. Brad Binder is sixth. He moves ahead of Alex Rins, who was taken out at the start. Joan Mir also up into 8th position. Big move today from Jorge Martin, who moves on to 51 points now in 12th position, a gain of 3 places. Maverick Vinales and Luca Marini also finished inside the top 7 today, and they move up in the championship. And Darren Binder into double figures now. He moves ahead of Fabio Di Gianantonio. He's now second in the chase for the Rookie of the Year prize. Marco Bezzecchi still leads that, but of course he crashed out today. And as mentioned, Raul Fernandez is on the board with 1 World Championship point. And Air Bastianini's leading the Independent Riders Championship now down to 3 points after back-to-back DNFs. Jorge Martin back up into 3rd position now on 51 ahead of Luca Marini and Takaki Nakagami, who will have some explaining to do after that first corner collision which saw him take out both Alex Rins and Pecco Bagnaia. Alex Marquez next up in 7th ahead of Darren Binder, who moves up ahead of Fabio Di Gianantonio and his teammate Andrea Dovizioso. A pretty racing lead, the team's championship, but not the day that they were hoping for. Their lead is now cut just as 2 points over Monster Energy Yamaha MotoGP, who must have Fabio Quartararo largely to thank for that. Ducati Lenovo team in 3rd. They're only 4 points ahead of their satellite partners, Prima Pramac Racing in 4th. Team Suzuki X-Star in 5th ahead of Red Bull KTM Factory Racing. Gresini stay ahead of Repsol Honda, although Repsol Honda had an afternoon to forget. Pol Espargaro failing to score. He was last and 17th at the end. The independent team's championship is led by Prima Pramac Racing. They extend their lead after a big points haul for them today. 2nd and 3rd for Martin and Zarco. They stretch 40 points clear now of Gresini Racing MotoGP. And the Constructors' Championship, well, Ducati's lead has been cut by 5 points. Jorge Martin taking 2nd for them today, which means Ducati are past the 200-point mark. They are 54 points clear now of Yamaha, who stretch clear of Aprilia, who sit in 3rd.
Well, the 24-lap Monster Energy Grand Prix of Catalunya could not have got off to a more dramatic start. A great launch from pole position by home crowd hero Aleix Espargaro, but further down the field, Taki Nakagami losing control of his LTR Honda, clipping the back of Pecco Bagnaia and wiping out Suzuki's Alex Rins in a highly dramatic moment to kick off the race. Fabio Quartararo got up the inside of Bagnaia and Aleix Espargaro in the first corner and then started to streak away at the field, leaving behind him an intense battle for second between Jorge Martin and the poleman. More disaster for Ducati's and Bastianini. Successive crashes in 7 days after his DNF in Mugello. Bastianini loses the front going into turn 5. More World Championship points gone for the Beast. Just seconds later, and his teammate Fabio Di Gianantonio, who had started an excellent 5th, he crashed out heavily at turn 13. Aleix Espargaro, he'd been patient and bided his time to make a move on the inside of Jorge Martin to see second in the first corner, with Fabio Quartararo long gone away at the front. The intense battle between the two Spaniards continued, with Martin retaliating on Aleix Espargaro into turn 1 as the race became a real battle of tyre life. This was the moment, though, where Aleix Espargaro thought he'd taken second place, but celebrating too early. Can you believe it? Miscounted a number of laps. Head in hands for Aprilia's racing CEO, Massimo Rivola. There's the realisation. There's the moment when it really did hit Aleix Espargaro as Joan Mir came flying through turn number 3. Aleix Espargaro recovered to finish 5th, but Fabio Quartararo was in a completely different race, having signed a new 2-year contract with Yamaha on the eve of this Grand Prix. He takes a dominant win by 6.4 seconds. Jorge Martin back on the podium for the second time in 2022. And Johann Zarco, the grateful recipient of 16 points in a surprise podium after Aleix Espargaro's big mistake. Fabio Quartararo then, he moves on to 147 points in the World Championship. Another virtuoso display from the Frenchman. Great scenes post-race as well as the fans celebrated. Thanks for joining us throughout this weekend. Our team here in Barcelona have enjoyed bringing you coverage of this Monster Energy Grand Prix of Catalunya. We move on then in 2 weeks' time to round 10, the German Grand Prix in the Sachsenring.